What's up, everybody? Hope everybody is doing well. Um, I was having a little frustrating moment there. I was doing some stuff on my computer. I changed my logo and stuff. Right, created the logo, paid for it, and all that. Right, so I go to the place to make some adjustments to it because I want to, make some adjustments. And the guy's like, "Oh, just go here to this website. You can make these adjustments." And I can't get the color right. So I sent him an email. Of course, he hasn't responded yet. So I got all frustrated. So I said to myself, before I really get mad, let me go for a ride, get out the house, calm down, because I have this issue with customer service. I have this issue with it. So me and customer service, man, they just don't work out. So speaking of customer service, what's up with the dating pool, right? So there's a couple of screenshots that I took, and I want to thank this particular sister. Usually I put people's names up here, but I think that there's a little bit of a level of frustration, so I'm not going to put her name up there. But I did want to address what she had to say, and in concert, address that with a video that I watched last night after the live that we did. What about Orion Terabin, who did a good episode. He talked about this dating advice that's going on out here, and so I want to kind of couple that with what was presented in my screenshot there that I put up. So in particular, here's what Orion Terabin talked about. It's from Psychax, and I'll get to my portion, my contribution in a minute here, because I think people got to come up with their own content, can't just use other people's. So anyway, so Orion Terabin was talking about, you can't have these dating coaches. Why dating advice is so bad? You should be talking about there's two different ideas going on here. There's the economic, as he called it, and then there's the psychological, right? So in other words, if you watch the dating coaches that we had last night, or about the experts, watch the live session of that. I think that was a perfect example of what Orion Terabin was talking about when he talked about the psychological stuff that's going on, right? I mean, the two ladies up there, in my estimation, were not very impressive as dating coaches. I don't profess to be a dating coach. I'm just a guy talking about my life experiences, and people are asking me my opinion. But the two dating coaches that were on there, we had Paul from Ask an Older Man, and Katrina Valente, I think her name was. And then we had Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, I believe her name was. She was on the Cam Newton show. And they're both talking about the psychological stuff. And listen, I have a master's degree in psychology, so I gotta tell you, man, psychology is all over the place. There's a reason it's called soft science, right? It's whatever you think and whatever your opinions are and all that. I'm not saying people shouldn't study it or shouldn't understand it to a certain degree, but when you're applying it to situations, you have to be very, very careful in your application of what you're saying that people are doing and what they're going through, and etc. So just be aware of that. So Orion, who himself is a psychologist, is kind of acknowledging it. He's like, listen, these ladies out here are getting bad advice. Men and women, people are getting bad advice. People are getting bad advice about what's going on here, right? So you can't be so psychological in your approach to this, right? Everything's a psychological inner problem that you got to fix about yourself and about somebody else. And then some people are getting too much of the other side of the economics, and the economics that he calls it is, you're worried about too much money, you're worried about your game, you're worried about your presentation, your dress, right? You got to come off, how you present. I think a better word would be presentation, but he used the term economics. Call it what you want. Call it what you want. So there's really the physical and there's the psychological, right? I got to be this. The economics or the physical presentation is, I got to be this person. I got to have this game. I got to have this swag. If you're a woman, you got to be fit, feminine, friendly, and all this stuff. And you're not doing you're not doing any inner work. So what he's saying is, you got to do both, right? You got to do this inner work. You got to do this inner work and outer work, essentially, right? So you got to do inner and outer work. So that's. I took some notes and I forgot my pad at home. Dang it! This is what happens when you get mad. So I'm going to try to remember what I talked about in trying to help people to try to navigate this dating scene. Listen, I was out there. I know what it was like to be married, so all that. So I understand what the frustration that people are going through. And again, this sister that, you know, I really want to respond to that because I hear the frustration. So first thing I would say is don't give up, right? First thing is don't give up. You know, keep looking. The second thing is in alignment with what Psychax was saying. It's just work. It's work on yourself. Become the best version of yourself. Don't give up. Become the best version of yourself. That means educate yourself, become well-read. If you know, become fit, feminine, friendly. Work on everything that you can work on in order to be that, right? So those are some really big things, right? So you can't always be out here just looking for the right person. Sometimes you have to be that right person. So be that right person. Third is understand what the opposite gender, opposite sex wants. Stop trying to give people what they don't want. Stop trying to give people what they don't want. Men have something that they want. Figure what that thing out is out. Women have something they want. I specifically started this channel or evolved this channel to talk to the men and tell them to be what the women want. If you're an educated dude, work on your swag. If you're a swag dude, work on your education, right? And I don't mean formal education, but if all you got is cool and game and all this, right? And then you have a sister that you really find intriguing, that you really want to get to know, then she might want to have a conversation beyond the New York Knicks. You know what I'm saying? So you really have to figure out how you really have to kind of do exactly what Ryan was saying. Work on the inner and the outer. I think it was a good thing that he mentioned that. Third is so work on the inner and outer. Learn. Don't give up. Become what they want. Become what the other person is looking for. Right. I'm not saying to change your ways, but just educate yourself, motivate yourself, and do whatever. The next step I would say is learn how to vet. I have not done my vetting. I might do it. Maybe I'll record the video. I'm taking a ride right now, so maybe I'll record the vetting video for women, for men looking for women, because I did one for the men looking for the women looking for men. So I'll do the opposite. So maybe I'll do that on the way back. So learn. You got to do a better job at vetting. I mean, a better job at vetting, and that is key and that is essential. That is key and that is essential, is to do a better job of looking at, your standards and what you're looking for and what you're looking at, and don't compromise them, because you know what happens when you compromise your standards. You know what happens when you compromise, right? You get let down, you get disappointed, you kick yourself and say, why did I fall for this again? Why did I let my guard down? Why did I give this guy my attention? Why did I do this? Why? Boys and girls, right? Be realistic in your expectations. Be realistic in your expectations. There are too many people out here running around out here. There's too many people running around out here who really think more highly of themselves than they ought to think. Who really think more highly of themselves than they ought to think. They, listen. You have to be realistic. One more time. You have to be realistic in what your expectations are and what you can acquire. And for far too long, this is part of doing a self-assessment. Far too long we have been telling women, in particular women, right? Guys tell each other to get themselves together. Listen, man, you're getting fat. Listen, man, we don't like how you hair. You smell bad. You need to pick yourself up. But I don't think that's happening to a great degree. And if it is, please feel free to correct me. But a woman walks out of her house, you're not slaying all the time. You're not slaying all the time. Sometimes your hair looks a mess, and sometimes, yes, you're getting overweight. That form-fitting dress is not fitting you very well, right? Stop. You gotta be more open and honest with people. And all that. And so, this idea that we let people continue in their state of delusion and just wallow in it and just I don't know why anybody thinks this is a good thing. I'm not a woman. I'm not going to try to attempt to get into the female psyche and why you all allow that. But that's not it. Maybe it is jealousy. Maybe it is, let her look a fool. That way I can get the best man. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to pretend to know. I don't know. But I am saying that it's a problem. It's a problem that you guys got to address. It's a problem you guys got to address. So people out here just running around delusional, just too big for the clothes and bad makeup and bad wigs and weaves and I don't know why you all do that. So be realistic. And let me just talk a little bit about the dating advice. The dating advice. It is bad. Here's a screenshot from the Orion Terabin, because I scrolled through the comment section too, just to figure out what people are saying. Here is, this brother up here succinctly put up there what is wrong with the dating advice. He said some few other things, or at least he mentioned it in the comments. Or there's other factors going on here. But this is it. This is it. This was well said. This is well said. Listen, this whole idea, don't text back too soon, and don't want to come off too thirsty and all this kind of stuff. Listen, it's crazy. It's crazy. What other market is this acceptable? I teach a leadership class every term. I teach a leadership class, and part of it we talk about. It's for business, so it's really more of I think it's more of a marketing class, but they leave it as a leadership class, whatever. So one of the things that we discussed is this idea of scarcity, right? This idea of scarcity. And the idea of scarcity is, right, so just think about it like this, right? You watch a TV ad or a commercial or something like that, right? It's like, prices are slashed right now, or there's only, 50 left in stock. Hurry down before they're all gone, or something like that, right? Only a few of these have been made, or something like that to give you this idea that there's not a lot of them. And in the dating market, I think that idea of scarcity has been gone. It's gone. I think that that there's a limited amount of good men. I think that there's a limited amount of good women, but we don't operate that way. We don't operate that way. So if and there's this thing about, I can remember that when my kids were in school, I don't know what they're calling it now, but remember that term thirsty, right? I'm like, thirsty. I know I'm dating myself. So, but this idea was that you don't want to come off like you really, really want something, like you're cool, calm, and relaxed. And next thing you know, somebody else has swooped in and done what you and been with your girl, or somebody could have been. Why are these games out here? Why is it a negative to tell somebody, hey, listen, I'd really like to take you out. I'd really like to see you again. I don't know. And all right, and then they're texting you back, and hey, it's a game. Like, where is this game coming from? It's a weird thing, right? I talk about scarcity, right? It's a weird thing to think that you are in this place of think you own it. You got all the time in the world, right? Well, I'm having trouble, articulating this, but this idea that you don't have to be, that you don't want to come off as desperate. Yes, I get that, but you don't. It's bad and taboo to answer text messages within 5 minutes. It's bad to answer phone calls or not call somebody back or intentionally tell them, I got other plans. I can't really see you tonight, knowing you're sitting home. I'm confused. I'm genuinely confused about that. So we're all getting this advice, right? Don't text back too soon, right? So this is not me. This is a guy I don't know on the internet who's saying this. We're all getting it. I've heard women say it. I've heard men say it. And women, this is a real thing. Do this selection, right? They look at a man who's got a wedding ring on, or walking to some park with his kids and stuff, and say, "Oh man, this guy, somebody else selected him to be a father, so he might be a good dad. Let me go over here and talk to him." That's a real phenomenon. So but I'm just at a loss. I'm just at a loss as to where this comes from and how we got here and what we do about it. And this dating advice, and this, why is this dating advice so bad? Why is this dating advice so bad? So, I wish that I could fix it. I wish I had the magic bullet. And to the sister who came in the comment section, and I hear, understand, and share your frustration that there is a serious issue with what's going on, and you make yourself the best that you can be, and you're not getting reciprocated for it, right? You've done the work, therapy, you've leveled up, you've done what you got to do. You're in the gym, and you still meet these bums and other dudes, right? And that's why I want to talk to the guys and tell them to get themselves together. So I hear the frustration, and listen, not only do I hear it, but I've experienced it, right? I have experienced this problem, and I wish that I had the answer for you. I wish that I did. I'm not going to pretend to be a dating coach. I'm not going to pretend to give you lies. I'm not going to pretend to tell you bad advice about keep a bunch of dudes in your roster and all kind of other stuff that I played on my previous videos. If you haven't watched those, please make sure you go through my other videos, because a lot of these questions I've been getting in the comment section, watching one video and trying to make a judgment. I've got I think probably close to 80 videos or so now about leveling up in relationships. So make sure you check all those out before you make any kind of snap judgments. So this is an issue. I hear it. I understand it. I'm frustrated just as much as you are. If I get a young lady's number and I call her, I want to see her, right? And this idea that you have to wait and don't move too fast. And I know there's the idea of love bombing. So you can't fall for the love bombing on one side, but you can't move too slow. And if you don't call me back, I'm not going to call you back. Where do you go? What do you do? Why? And where do you go? What do you do? How do you react? How do you perform? And listen, I'll tell somebody in a minute. Listen, I like you. I want to see you again. I like you. I want to see you again. I want to talk to you. I want to get to know you. I want to come down. I want to drive up. I want to call you on the phone. I want to, why this is a bad thing now? Why we're in this place? I don't know. So, we're doing the psychological work about trying to heal from inner turmoil and past traumas and past relationships. And then we come across somebody who's telling us about something completely different, that's telling us almost seemingly the wrong answer. And one of the bigger reasons I'm making this video is because I don't want to be seeming like I'm giving the wrong answer, or I'm seeming like I'm giving defeatist information, because I don't believe in being defeatist or pessimist. Sometimes I have to fight hard in my own mind not to be that way. But this idea of that there's no hope, and I've done the best work I can do, and I'm doomed. I'm gonna die alone, and I'll never have kids. I'll never get married. I don't believe in teaching and talking that way. I believe in self-positive motivation and self-talk and all that. But I can certainly understand the frustration that people are going through when you run into people and they just want to play games. They just want to play games. I can't. One of the reasons I'm like, I gotta step back from this. I gotta step back from this, because whatever's going on out here, it's not for Big L. Whatever's going on out here, if it's in the water, it's in the air, right? I definitely believe it's the deregulated dating market. Nobody is really thirsty. That's really the problem. You're not thirsty, right? You got 1,000 people hitting you up on Instagram, 1,000 people sliding to your DMs on Facebook, 1,000 people, just trying to get at you. If you're on the dating apps, you think you got all this time, and you think you got all this energy and attention, particularly for the women, not so much for the men, and you think that you can be picky and choosy. If I can find a clip, there's a woman who actually said being a good man is just not good enough.
Sometimes a woman can talk her out of a relationship. You can talk. We do that.
Yes,
we will talk.
I'm gonna say something, and this might ruffle little feathers. I don't think just being a good man is enough. to stay in a relationship with them.
But when I say a good man, I mean like he's good. That means all around. That means himself, spiritually, mentally, physically.
That's great.
Healthily, like he's a good man.
That doesn't mean that he's the man for you. And
right.
Maybe when you're going through these motions of getting to know him, you're realizing, okay, he's a great person, but honestly, I don't fuck with his humor. Like, he could be funny, but he's not funny to me.
And that's why a lot of modern women are getting 40 with 4 cats and no man, because he's a good man, but because he's not funny, you gotta throw that out.
It's a real phenomenon out here where being a good man isn't good enough. Right? You gotta be funny, you gotta be witty, you gotta be so tall. I mean, you're a good guy, you're funny and witty and all that, you know, you got a good career and stuff. Funny, witty, and got a good career, but you're only 5'8". I mean, and this is real. This is real. People are really saying this. I had a woman say to me one time, listen, I told her about, trying to do it, podcast we're trying to build, and this is before I had my degree, right? Before I graduated with my doctorate. So I'm telling her about what I want to do. She's like, "Oh man, I've never heard of such a great, game plan for your life." This last I heard of her. I wish I could make this up. So having what is it? I don't know. So I'm making this video right now to say I share in your frustration. Ryan Terman tried to address it. There's other guys. We're all dealing with this. I think Anita from Better Love Movement made a video about this as well. It's like we're all going through this stuff. Like, what is going on? What is going on? So I want to jump in here and just say that. So don't give up. Become the best version of yourself. Work on your inner and outer. Learn how to vet properly. Keep your goals about you. We're all going through it. Stop playing games with people. Be intentional in what you're doing, and just move about your day. Right? I wish I had the notes. I know I had another point that I really wanted to bring out. I can't remember. So just go about your day. Just work on yourself. Go back to school. Build a hobby. Just continue to work on yourself. And I can only hope that it will come one day and that people will wake up and stop playing these silly games, because they are silly games. They are frustrating. I'm frustrated by it. I'm frustrated for you. I'm frustrated for everyone else, males and females who are out there who really want to be together, they really want to be together. They really want to make something. They really want to pair up and partner up and don't want to go through life by themselves. And, because of the games and because of this crazy environment that we are, we can't seem to get together. And, again, I don't mean to harp, but ladies, you guys, it's the ball is really in your court. You don't realize how much power you have. And as long as there is as long as you refuse to hold other women accountable, this type of behavior will only continue and more than likely get worse, because men are responding to the exact type of energy that you're putting out. Let me say that again. Men are responding to the exact type of energy that you put out. Men want sex. Full stop. Men want sex, full stop. In order to get sex before the sexual revolution, before baby deletions were possible, before there was no repercussions, before all that stuff, right? In order for men to get sex, they had to be husbands. They had to be husbands. They don't have to do that anymore. So the reason you can be ghosted so easily is because he's got a better plan. You made a date, somebody else slid in his DMs, and so he said, "I'm going to level up." This is where it is. So we can blame it on that and on the internet, the availability of his dating pool, right? Everybody's dating pool, particularly for the top chads, those guys, those type of guys, it only goes up, right? So everybody wants to be with them. Somebody wants me to do a video about polygamy. I need to do that. I can't find I can't find a screen. I know I screen grabbed it, but I can't find it. But I got to remember to do a video about my thoughts about polygamy. Remind me if I forget. So I'm gonna leave it off there, man. I don't want to ramble and all that, but that's just my thoughts, man. Why is the dating advice so bad? Shout out to Ryan Teraban for him. Shout out to the young lady and to the guy in his comment section, who we're all noticing this. There's a serious problem, and we can't get it. So I'm not trying to tell you what to do and do this. Well, actually, I am telling you what to do, right? I'm telling you to level up, become the best version of yourself, learn the vetting process, become the type of person that you want to date. That's very, very important. Become the type of person you want to date. If you like to be like comedy and to laugh and have a good time, be that type of person, right? Nobody's just gonna fall in your lap. I've never liked the idea of just somebody just just sitting back and I'm gonna let my husband come to me. Listen, somebody else in another comments we had, I asked her, where are these kind of women at, right? So yes, go to political events if you're looking for, whatever type of man you're looking for, go to those type of events. I told a young lady that one time, I'm like, where do these men hang out? Do you go to Topgolf? Do you go to these other places? I mean, are you doing this stuff? Are you doing this type of work? So, it is what it is, man. So go to where they are, be available, dress up, put a nice pair of heels on. Football season is coming up. Go sit in the bar where these dudes are at, the type of dudes that you're looking at, that you want. Go in the bar and sit there, bring a book if you don't like it, and just sit there and just look cute and just wait for somebody to approach you. But be realistic. I can't stress that enough. I'm sick of seeing these types of videos of women out there who are just I don't know. I don't want to be negative and pejorative, but man, it's like, what are y'all doing? And then expecting good men to approach you, and you look like, I don't want to be pejorative. And this is where it gets hurt. This is where it gets hurtful at. This is where it gets hurtful at, because you don't want anybody hurting your feelings. You don't want to, we don't want to tell people the truth. But everybody doesn't deserve everybody. I don't deserve to walk down the street with Holly Berry. I don't deserve that. Jennifer Lopez is available now. Listen, what am I doing? You got to stay within your lane. And you got to stay within your lane, man. You got to stay within your lane. So I've said enough. That is long enough. Much love and peace, everyone. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Let's get the conversation going in the comment section.